In this video we're going to do the decision January 2013 question 1. So let's take a look at this. It's an algorithm question, and actually during that year a lot of people found this quite tricky as a first question. If I was you, if you found this a bit tricky, I would have just left it and gone on and done an easy bubble sort or binary search or bin packing and come back to this after you've had a bit of time to settle into the exam. But when you are doing it, have a quick read through the question and think about it before you launch in. So here's an algorithm for finding the square root of a number. Given that n is 72 and e is 8, use the flowchart to complete the table in your answer book, working to at least 7 decimal places. So I would say let's work to 8 decimal places as we go along. Give your final answer to 7 decimal places, correct to 7 decimal places. Now, this thing works out square root, and what you're doing is you're putting in 72, and it seems to me like you're starting by trying 8 as the square root, and you're reworking that until you get a good square root. Now, one thing I think about a square root, there's always a positive and negative of a square root. For example, so there's always a positive square root and a negative. So that's just something I'll be thinking about in the back of my mind when doing this algorithm as well, potentially for the later parts. You start, you input n and e, you work this complicated thing out called r here. You do r take away e, and it has to be between. Now, there's a bit of standard form here. It would be 6 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros, 1, and it has to be between negative 0.00001. This r minus e must be between these two numbers, i.e. it must be a tiny positive or negative number, very small. Now if it is, that's the r you want and you're done, and if it's not, you make e be r and you rework the calculation and you keep going. Okay, so let's have a go. Let's input 72 and 8. So what we do is we put in 72 here in our table and we put 8 in here, and we go to this and we work out r. So we do 72 divided by 8 plus 8, and then we all divide that by 2, and we get r is equal to 8.5. Now, if you do r take away e, you get 0.5. And 0.5 is not between 0.0001, 2, 3, 4, 1, and it's certainly not between that. So you just put no. And because it's no, you let e now equal r. Okay, you let e now equal r, so e is now 8.5, and you go back and you do it again. You work out r is 72 divided by 8.5 plus 8.5 divided by 2. And when you do that and you calculate, you get 8.485294118. Let's say I'm keeping it the whole decimal calculation in my calculator. Now, if you do that, take away that, you get a small number, but it's not less than 0.00001 or between these two. It's not at all. So you say no. Now you let e be this. So you let e be 8.485294118, and now you go round here and you work out r is 72 divided by this long number, this long decimal, plus that long decimal, all divided by 2, and this time you get 8.485281.374. And when you take these two things away, again, it's not between the numbers you're looking for, so you write no. So now you let e be equal to that number there. So e would now be 8.485281.374. You go back here and you work this r out here and you get 8.485281.374. You take these away from each other, and indeed that calculation is between these two numbers, so you write yes. Key thing is you must write your final output or you don't get the marks. The final output is this r, so r to 7 decimal places, r is equal to 8.485281.4 to 7 dp. You must write this here. Students just left it in the table. You must write this here and you must round it appropriately to get the marks for the exam. Now going back here to part B, it said the flowchart is used with n is 72 and e is negative 8. Describe how this would affect the output. Well, it was like I was thinking about earlier. If you put negative 8 in, maybe you get the negative square root. So you get the negative square root if you do this. So that's why understanding the algorithm a bit might help you answer these later questions. State the value of E which cannot be used in this flow diagram. Look at the flow diagram. Is any value of E going to cause trouble? Because E is dividing here, E cannot be equal to 0. N divided by E you're working out. So just say E cannot equal 0. That's the only value. And we're done for the first question.